to another ANMC talk show. It's been a while since we've got to see you all, but we've got a couple topics, a couple symptoms that have been kind of a high priority question for our clients. So we're going to go over a couple of those symptoms today, tell you some of the new things that are happening here at ANMC. Let's get started. So one of the symptoms that we've got two, and Morgan, you had a question about.
I've just been getting a lot of questions about parasites. What do we do for them? What can we quote unquote test, and how that works?
Very good questions. So I'm going to start with this, and you guys just chime in however you feel. But parasites are a good question. Everybody does have parasites in our body. It's just more, is it causing a disruption or an interruption into our functional systems? And so, like with everything with functional health, we're never doing anything for a particular disease symptom. We're not working on treatment, but what we are doing is creating an environment where parasites just can't live. And so we're going to do all of the things, clean up diet, clean up lifestyle, everything that we can do so that it's just not a place that parasites can thrive. But then we have really good assessment options so that we can see, are there parasites present and to what extent are they causing dysfunction in the systems? And then we have like homeopathics and herbals that we can use for if we do see that there is some dysfunction present. And then of course we're going to be doing whatever nutritional things that we can do to help build a gut environment that again just is not a good home for parasites. So I don't know if you've had some stories, Cassie, too, but as going through clinical training, I have seen parasites. You know, I've seen them move across the eyes. We've seen them come out of the skin. There's kind of some creepy stories. But so this is a common question, and it really freaks people out, especially if you see pinworms in stool or something. Again, our job is not to treat any condition or ailment. Our job is to, how do we help the body to function better so that it's not an environment where these can thrive. So don't freak out if you see anything weird. We're kind of used to hearing that there's some weird stuff. Right?
I think when people hear the word parasite, it's automatically, I go to every horror movie I've ever seen, and again, some of these parasites are very natural for us to have in our system, and they kind of coexist with us, and even if we have good gut biome or gut health. Thank you. I couldn't come up with the word. That it's a good thing, but it's when we get that overload that it's my understanding where it comes
imbalance.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love that you mentioned that, because think of our bodies as a little world. It's an ecosystem. And so I love that you mentioned, there are rhyme and reasons to why we have certain bacteria in our body. They do coexist together. So don't be scared of any of the things. Don't allow your mind to freak yourself out about it. But so when you do, anybody can do like a cellular bioenergetics assessment, and Morgan will run some panels to see if parasites are one of those things that are throwing off an imbalance in the body. So that's a good question. Do you think that answers the questions of kind of the comments that you've been hearing?
Yeah, and is there usually any specific like detoxes that need to be done?
There definitely can be some detoxes, but there again, I would definitely suggest then when you run the full 58-point full body assessment, then, because we need to make sure lymphatic and circulatory liver can actually accommodate what we're trying to detox out. That's a really good question. Yeah, it's never going to be about one thing, right? It's always the whole mix of that. The other question that people have been, and this is on again, off again, ebb and flow. We get this a lot, but it's stress. There's so much stress and anxiety. Always, we're getting questions on, but the level of stress that people are feeling right now. So, do you guys want to share some of the things that that we have here at ANMC that has been really helpful? What kind of comes to mind?
One of the things that jumps out for me are the therapies that we offer, whether it be the infrared sauna, the lymphatic suit, the sound bed, all of these things that give people an opportunity to just be in the moment of an experience where I'm not worried about my job, my kids, the grocery list, soccer practice, and it's feeding my body something really healthy, taking me out of that fight or flight and inviting me into rest and digest. You know, if people who are involved in our Retrain the Allergy Brain program, they get lots of tools working with a coach on, you know, why that's important, how we can make changes in our diet. And again, I would just, you know, this is my little soapbox. You know, what we feed our body can be stressful or not stressful. So look at the things you're putting into your body. We know that sugar is, it's a stressor. You may think that I'm stressed out and I'm gonna eat all this chocolate because I feel better, but it just agitates the heck out of us.
I love that you incorporate the internal environment too, because when we hear stress, we think about stressful external situations. And really, it's that plus what are the internal stressors that are happening too. So having a good balanced body, a good balanced diet, lifestyle changes that will allow for an internal environment where the nervous system is more in that parasympathetic state. And Morgan's got some really cool things that are happening here. Do you want to talk about atropine?
Thanks. I have a package for HeartMath. If you guys, some of you have experienced it before, and it is an 8-week series on building personal resilience. And so what I would be doing with you is actually teaching you really simple tools and helping you identify what is the difference between a stress and stressor, and how do you actually identify that by actions and emotions and situations. And when we can do that, you're actually helping to create a new brainwave pattern. And so you can create a new habit. You can actually move through a situation and find how those little things are actually incorporated into your life, and helps with self-regulation of emotions and behaviors. A big one, I think, is learning to trust yourself more too. I talked about this when I did a training with everyone here, and helping to build that own trust between your heart and your brain, and getting that connection strong, getting your physiology to match what you want your life to look like.
I really loved some of the tools that you taught all of us to show what's in this package. They're so usable right now. Like, you don't have to go through this major training and then remember all of these things, but some of the little things that you said really have just stood out to me. And one of them was you feel like you're under stress a lot, but generally the stressor is the same thing. It's generally the same things that we're stressing on. And so really, it's not this whole world that we're trying to solve. It's really just these couple of things. So just kind of going through this program and having this package and having some awareness of our stressors, and then the simple tools that you were teaching, that's hugely impactful. I can see that being beneficial.
And to go off that, you know, just like in the world around us, like there's a lot of noise. We can't necessarily turn off that noise, but we can decrease the amount of noise that we allow our body to consume. And then working with clients too, just being able to like recognize like, where am I? Or, you know, just tracking these things, like what's a common, you know, trigger for me? And then just the biggest thing is, again, being aware of it, and things that you didn't know you were aware of before, or then it's starting to like, you know, like a domino effect, like, oh my gosh, it's this, and then it's this, and then it's this. But it's just being able to turn off that noise in your own life, and, you know, how do we move forward with it, giving the strategies and the tools. And then sleep. If we're constantly worrying about, like, you know, all the background noise, we're not getting good sleep, we're not resting, and then that creates more stress. So, I mean, in my own life, I know it was a habit before. I would scroll on my phone, endless scrolling. It didn't serve any purpose in my life. But then, you know, just putting my phone down at the end of the night or end of the day, and then just putting on YouTube just some like black screen meditation, sleep meditation. It's just, and I've noticed, I mean, in the last 2 months, my sleep has improved, and then I wake up feeling rested, and just my stress.
I like your phrase, how do I decrease the noise?
Yeah.
You know, so I love in the package you learn, you know, tools that you can use right in the midst of stressful situations, but also how to be proactive against them. And then we also have in the therapy bay, you know, the actual HeartMath devices that you can use to really retrain that heart rate variability. So if you want more information on that, call the office. Morgan's got a fantastic package ready to help you deal with stressors and anxieties, or just the simple therapies. But we have there's 2 new products specifically that you talked about, Leon, that are new to our store, and I think that would be really helpful to talk about. And then we should probably close up for our little mini talk show today. But do you want to talk about empathy? And then there was another one, maybe one of your favorites.
Yes, so we have some exciting new DesBio products, and they're having more of a focus on the emotional and the mental side for helping. So the first one is empathy, and with this, and I think going along with supporting stress, a lot of people are highly sensitive. If that's something that you deal with in terms of just having a general sensitivity, whether that's to the outer environment, light, noise, this can really help to bring your body back into balance. Another potential help with this product is if you're really stressed about helping other people in your life, so just
Those
overly
givers.
yes,
The givers, the people pleasers.
yes. So being a people pleaser, this can also help just to reduce taking on that type of energy from others. And then the last potential is having narcissistic tendencies. So I think if you know someone who has narcissistic tendencies, this can help for them to feel just more empathy in general for others.
Feel compassion. Yeah, it's stabilizing to neurotransmitters and to brain chemicals. And one thing I love about, we use homeopathics a lot because they are generally recognized as safe. And if you're in a stressed or an anxious state, oftentimes people are using antidepressants or SSRIs, anxiety meds, and then we're limited with what we can use with herbals and nutraceuticals, where homeopathics are generally a really good pairing to that, and they can work directly on specific symptoms. So I know you've got some of these on the shelf, and so they're ready to go. You can come in and take a look and talk about more of those with us. But thank you for joining us. We'll try to plug in and do talk shows as often as we can, hopefully once a month. But thanks for joining. Come on in, give us a call. See you again.